Go ahead. $19.29. Go ahead. $19.29.
To order, please call the roll.
Schmidt,
Here.
Whitaker,
Here.
Wright, Baumgartner,
Here.
Ely, here, Godwin.
Here.
All right, let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Colonel Police and Fire, can I help you?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Is it you? Yes. They should be muted though.
All right, moving forward, approval of the minutes. Everyone should have received a copy of the minutes. Any additions or corrections? If not, they'll stand as presented. Approval of the current financial report. We should have all had. Approval of the minutes. Everyone should have received a copy of the minutes. Any additions or corrections?
So there's always
If not, they'll
like
stand.
somebody turned the sound up on the TV.
Approval of the current financial report.
Now we should be fine.
Very good.
Apologies. I'm trying to learn on the job.
It's all good.
Go ahead.
All right, approval of the current financial report. We'll need a motion to approve that.
So move.
Motion by Mr. Whitaker to approve the current financial report. Discussion? Call the roll?
Schmidt,
Yes.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Baumgartner,
Yes.
Ely,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
All right, moving on, approval of the agenda. We do have one piece of legislation to add, and is there a need for an executive?
There is,
There will be a need for an executive session tonight.
regarding personnel.
Okay. So we'll need a motion to amend that.
What is number 5? What is that? That we're adding?
All right.
Number 5 is legislation for the police department to transfer in their vehicle that they use for undercover operations.
Okay. So it's a transfer ordinance, right?
It's not, it's a resolution to transfer a vehicle they currently have for a new vehicle. It's not technically a transfer ordinance.
I move to approve the agenda as amended.
Motion by Mr. Baumgartner to approve the agenda as amended. Discussion? Call the roll?
Schmidt,
Yes.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Baumgartner,
Yes.
Ely,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
All right, moving on to the public hearing. We do have one item for a zoning amendment recommendation. I don't know if there's anyone here to speak to that or not, but the floor is open.
Just so council understands, this is a zoning amendment for the old Marsh building. And what it is doing is changing that from, I believe, a general business to a downtown enterprise district. As you know, that building currently has been purchased and they've been doing some updates there. And the hope is to tie that into the downtown. And I think they've done a great job so far. But that's what that legislation or that zoning amendment will handle.
Very good. Do we, is there any action required by council on that at this time?
So there's a recommendation from the Planning and Zoning Committee to approve that amendment. We had to have a public hearing. Given that there's no opposition, I'll prepare legislation to approve that zoning amendment for next meeting.
Very good. Thank you. Anyone else wishing to address council on Zoom or here? Now would be the time to do so. Absolutely.
Okay, Ryan Berry, Main Street, Greenville, 421 South Broadway. Just wanted to actually thank the committee that discussed the DORA at Annie Oakley and Yolo Park a couple of weeks back. But I would encourage you to, once you hear this, to approve the report and then whatever legislation that comes through, because this will be huge for the economic development of downtown Greenville. Obviously, we have one of the founders of Yolo Park here, but this has become an event center. You have your South Park, and I drove past there on my way over here. Kids are playing, kids are having a lot of fun over there. And the Yolo Park is now becoming more of an event kind of facility. We've got events planned over the next couple of months, actually a lot of musical events coming up over the next couple of months, including some things that are, I think, happening on Thursdays. And then our August, first Friday, we're gonna have a concert, or we're planning on having a concert. That's the hopes of having a concert in that park with Darren Bell. So we've got a lot of great things happening over there. And this is just gonna add to it with the Sure Shot Tap House right next to it. And then of course, some of the other establishments that are just a block away or even less than a block away. And you're going to see some more and more things take place downtown because of Yolo Park and what we can allow and afford from that park. So I encourage you to go with it and just really, all of this has helped downtown. This whole council, the whole city has really helped downtown over the past year or so with the improvements that have been made. I get comments all the time with people coming in and saying how much they enjoy the looks of our downtown, how clean it is, how nice it is, especially at Christmas time. That was just incredible, and what he's done down there. And all of that is part of the economic development. That's why we have very few empty spaces downtown right now. We have some, but we have into Yolo Park as we go forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to address council? If not, we will move on to administrative reports. Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. I got a few things. A couple of them are things that already happened. One of them is, if you remember the last meeting, we talked about having a proclamation done and a letter of a certificate appreciation, or what was it, for the music, Make Music Day.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that? So it worked out great. Just to tell you real quick, there was a county employee choir, which I was shocked, but it was really neat, and they did a fantastic job. They sang like 5 songs, and Council President Burke was there, the proclamation, and or I gave him a proclamation. He gave him the letter from the council, and it really worked out good. And they're planning on a bigger event next year. So it was really something that we were glad we were involved in. So it's pretty cool. Fireworks update. Most everybody I talked to liked the fireworks. They're maybe a little shorter this year. The reason for that, because I didn't know how much money we're going to raise. And we talked about it and made a contract up for a lot less money, not a lot. Normally we spend 20,000, a little bit more, up to 22. And this year we were only spent 17.5. And that is all the fireworks we could get. I wanted to buy more, but you couldn't do it. So Jeff, it was a COVID fireworks. That's what we're going to call it. So pretty neat. So I think as time goes along, we should do something with water rates, not with them, but explain them to the public more. Maybe even have a session where we can talk about what the averages are and what they're going to be, and make sure they understand how it works. And I was on the radio the other day, and I wanted to tell people a little more about it, and I did that. What groups of people are going to start out paying when it finally comes to the place of September when we do this. There's going to be a group of people pay 3 months, be a group of people pay 2 months, and one group people pay that first month. So I'd like to make sure those people understand all of that. So it's something I'll talk with Ryan about, and we'll get some information together, but something I want to make sure we do that. We need more explanation to the citizens. So thank you. Splash pad was still running great. It's fantastic. And people have comments every day, just like I do downtown, and really appreciate all the work that was done to get that going. So it's a great place. There's some talk about not having an opening, like an open event to thank people and stuff. I think that we should have that, the hospital per se, particularly, that I think that they deserve something to make this happen. So we should look a little bit more on that. And I know Ryan's got some plans for that. We don't have a date set or anything yet, so we'll continue to look at that. Still looking at nuisance properties, still working on that. I've heard some grumblings around with a few different ones. You'll probably hear that too, but as time goes along, but something we need to keep pushing forward on. So, and we are, and Ryan and Mike particularly working on a lot of that stuff. So our CRA was submitted, and it takes several weeks. I know you heard that last email. I think that's what they said, maybe several weeks before they get the application processed. And so we're looking forward to that getting done. So see, other than that, I think that's it. So I'd like to pass.
Very good. Do you have anything for Safety Service Director tonight, or since he's not here, did he leave any?
He's enjoying his vacation.
That's what I like to hear. Good for him. We'll move on then to Law Director.
Well, because Mr. Delk's enjoying his vacation, he's creating more work for us, but we are happy to shoulder that burden for him. Just one thing that I want to mention tonight, the mayor mentioned that we are continuing to pursue those nuisance properties in town. You may get contacted because we have started to file some litigation. I'll just remind you all, as representatives of the city, if you get contacted by those people, make sure that you push them towards me because it is ongoing active litigation that's happening. There's kind of some special rules that apply, and everything that people can say can be used against them and all that fun stuff. So it's best just to have no comment. And if there's any questions, make sure you push them to me. So with that, I will pass.
Very good. Thank you.
Council President, like one around.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry about that.
You're fine.
I had a meeting today. It was the second one. I thought Ryan would be there back here, Ryan Berry, but it wasn't. It looks like we're pretty good. It's pretty much definite that Whirlpool will have the KitchenAid sidewalk sales, and they'll operate out of the old Uniques building. So that's pretty good news for the downtown too. So we'll look forward to more information on how it works out. But
All right.
so that's pretty nice. Thanks. That's it.
All right, moving on. Auditor.
Thank you, Mr. Council President. As you're all aware, the 2022 budget was approved at the previous council meeting. The reports were approved. The report submitted by the Finance Committee stated that the budget was balanced for the 2022 calendar year. One thing I wanted to mention to you, in previous years, what we had done, we had published a public hearing notice 10 days before the actual meeting so that anybody that wanted to voice any opinions about the budget could come forward and do so. We did not do it this year for the simple fact, I don't know if you recall, about a month ago, we submitted an alternative budget, which was approved. And by doing that, we do not have to publish or have the public hearing. The only people that I guess the county still needs to do a public hearing or publish a notice and have people come forward. But the city no longer has to do that because we did that alternative budget. So I just wanted to let you know that it's changed a little bit from last year. So as I said before, we do have a balanced budget. And if there are no other questions or concern, I would ask the council to vote to submit the 2022 budget to the Darke County Budget Commission.
Very good. Then we need to take a vote on that.
Correct.
All right. Got that? All right, go ahead and call the roll.
We need a motion.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Mr. Baumgartner to approve the budget. Discussion? Call the roll?
Schmidt,
Yes.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Baumgartner,
Yes.
Ely,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
All right. Anything else?
That's it. Thank you
Very
very
good.
much.
Thank you. All right, moving on then to committee reports. We do have one for the review of the DORA for the downtown area.
July 1st, 2021 to Greenville City Council from Zoning Planning and Governmental Relations Committee. The Zoning Planning and Governmental Relations Committee met on June 14th, 2021 for the purpose of reviewing DORA and the question of expanding DORA to include Yolo Park and Annie Oakley Park within the DORA area and following under established ordinance. It should be noted that to date, there has been no problem in the operation of DORA within the designated area. Following an open and positive discussion with community business representatives, the Darke County Visitors Bureau, and input from Police Chief Eric Roberts, the following is the recommendation of the committee to the members of City Council. Committee recommends that DORA continue to operate within the city. Committee recommends that DORA be approved to include the Yolo Park and Annie Oakley Park. Recommendation that within the inclusion of the above listed parks, that DORA follow the regularly scheduled hours as listed in the ordinance. Committee recommends that DORA be reviewed in 1 year to make sure it serves our community as it was designed to do. Respectfully submitted by Dolores Ely, Chairman, Clarence Godwin, Vice Chairman, and Doug Schmidt, Member.
I move we accept the committee's report.
Motion by Mr. Baumgartner to accept the committee report. Discussion? Call the roll?
Schmidt,
Yes.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Baumgartner,
Yes.
Ely,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
And there is legislation to correspond to that committee report. So if you would like to, at this time, amend the agenda, you can add that legislation
All
to
right.
reflect those changes.
So we will need a motion to amend the agenda and add the legislation
So
for,
moved.
motion by Mr. Godwin to amend the agenda. Discussion? Call the roll?
Schmidt,
Yes.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Baumgartner,
Yes.
Ely,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
And we will make that number 6. Okay, moving on to ordinances and resolutions then. Number 1, we have a resolution authorizing bidding for the salt barn for the street department.
A resolution authorizing bidding for the salt barn project at the street department. This resolution authorizes bidding for the necessary improvements for a salt barn at the street department.
Make a motion to suspend the rules on this resolution and read it by title only, second and third time.
Motion by Mr. Godwin to suspend the rules on this resolution. Discussion? Call the roll?
Schmidt,
Yes.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Baumgartner,
Yes.
Ely,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
A resolution authorizing bidding for the salt barn project at the street department. A resolution authorizing bidding for the salt barn project at the street department.
Move to adopt.
Motion by Mr. Baumgartner to adopt this resolution. Discussion? Call the roll?
Schmidt,
Yes.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Baumgartner,
Yes.
Ely,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
All right, resolution passes. Moving on, we have an ordinance authorizing city employees to contribute sick leave hours to Pam Shepard.
An ordinance authorizing city employees to contribute sick leave hours to the account of Pam Shepard and declaring an emergency. This ordinance authorizes city employees to contribute sick leave hours to the account of Pam Shepard, who has been struck with a health condition that will soon cause her to exhaust all of her accumulated paid leave. This ordinance has an emergency clause.
Move to suspend the rules, give this ordinance second and third reading by title only.
Motion by Mr. Baumgartner to suspend the rules and give this ordinance a second, and third reading by title only. Discussion? Call the roll?
Schmidt,
Yes.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Baumgartner,
Yes.
Ely,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
An ordinance authorizing city employees to contribute sick leave hours to the account of Pam Shepard and declaring an emergency. An ordinance authorizing city employees to contribute sick leave hours to the account of Pam Shepard and declaring an emergency.
Move to adopt the emergency clause.
Motion by Mr. Rogers to adopt the emergency clause. Discussion? Call the roll?
Schmidt,
Yes.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Baumgartner,
Yes.
Ely,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes. Move to adopt the ordinance.
Motion by Mr. Rogers to adopt the ordinance. Discussion? Call the roll?
Schmidt,
Yes.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Baumgartner,
Yes.
Ely,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
All right, moving on. We have a resolution authorizing the disposition of no longer needed motor vehicles.
A resolution authorizing the disposition of no longer needed motor vehicle. This resolution authorizes the disposition of no longer needed 2008 Ford Crown Victoria used by the police department.
Make a motion to suspend the rules on this resolution and read it by title only, second, third time.
Motion by Mr. Godwin to suspend the rules on this resolution, give it a second, third reading by title only. Discussion? Call the roll?
Schmidt,
Yes.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Baumgartner,
Yes.
Ely,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
A resolution authorizing the disposition of no longer needed motor vehicle. A resolution authorizing the disposition of no longer needed motor vehicle.
Move to adopt.
Motion by Mr. Baumgartner to adopt this resolution. Discussion?
Have they, since the chief is here, have they sold that Ford Explorer yet? Yeah.
Yes, they have. It's sold on Gov Deals.
Yes.
So we had set a minimum for it, and it came in at over the minimum.
Now is the office downstairs, the one still putting them on?
So I believe it goes through Gov Deals, and the planning and zoning has been,
Planning, Benji, is she the one putting them on?
I believe so, yes.
Because I think they got me blocked. 'Cause I don't see nothing from Greenville.
Oh, they know you. No,
Yeah.
never.
I haven't seen nothing on there for a long time.
All right, anything else? We're ready to call the roll? Okay, call the roll, please.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Baumgartner,
Yes.
Ely,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
All right, moving on. Number 4, we have a transfer ordinance.
An ordinance for the transfer of funds among the appropriations of the various funds of the city of Greenville. This ordinance allows transfers in the general fund and swimming pool maintenance and operating fund in the sum as follows. $2,000 from professional services city building to supplies city building. This transfer is needed to cover supplies, the supplies line through December 31st, 2021. $250 from equipment maintenance swimming pool to office supply swimming pool. This transfer is needed to cover office supplies until December 31st, 2021.
Move to suspend the rules and give this ordinance second and third reading by title only.
Motion by Mr. Whitaker to suspend the rules, give this ordinance second, third reading by title only. Discussion? Call the roll?
Schmidt,
Yes.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Baumgartner,
Yes.
Ely,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
An ordinance for the transfer of funds among the appropriations of the various funds of the city of Greenville. An ordinance for the transfer of funds among the appropriations of the various funds of the city of Greenville.
Move to adopt the ordinance.
Motion by Mr. Rogers to adopt the ordinance. Discussion?
Is the pool doing pretty good this year? As far as memberships and? That's good. Okay, thank you.
It's that good lifeguard they got out there, my son.
At least it's working.
Yeah.
All right, call the roll.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Baumgartner,
Yes.
Ely,
yes,
Godwin,
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Okay, number 5. We have an ordinance. This is one of the ones that we added. Is this one? Okay, for the vehicle
Okay.
trade, I guess.
A resolution authorizing the trade of a motor vehicle for the police department and declaring an emergency. This resolution authorizes the trade of a motor vehicle for the police department. This resolution has an emergency clause.
Make a motion to suspend the rules on this resolution and read it by title only, second and third time.
Motion by Mr. Godwin to suspend the rules, give this resolution a reading by second, third time by title only. Discussion? Call the roll.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Baumgartner,
Yes.
Ely,
yes,
Godwin,
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
A resolution authorizing the trade of a motor vehicle for the police department and declaring an emergency. A resolution authorizing the trade of a motor vehicle for the police department and declaring an emergency.
Move to adopt the emergency clause.
Motion by Mr. Rogers to adopt the emergency clause. Discussion? Call the roll.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Baumgartner,
Yes.
Ely,
yes,
Godwin,
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Move to adopt.
Motion by Mr. Whitaker to adopt. Discussion? Call the roll.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Baumgartner,
Yes.
Ely,
yes,
Godwin,
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
All right, and then moving on to number 6. This one, this is an ordinance for the DORA, for the committee report that we just discussed.
An ordinance amending section 1064.02 of the codified ordinances to allow alcohol in the downtown parks. This ordinance amends section 1064.02 of the codified ordinances to allow alcoholic beverages in the downtown parks by use of the DORA.
Move to suspend the rules and give this ordinance second and third reading by title only.
Motion by Mr. Whitaker to suspend the rules, give this ordinance a second and third reading by title only. Discussion? Call the roll.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Baumgartner,
Yes.
Ely,
yes,
Godwin,
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
An ordinance amending section 1064.02 of the codified ordinances to allow alcohol in the downtown parks. An ordinance amending section 1064.02 of the codified ordinances to allow alcohol in the downtown parks.
Move to adopt.
Motion by Mr. Baumgartner to adopt. Discussion? Call the roll.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Baumgartner,
Yes.
Ely,
yes,
Godwin,
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
All right, very good. Okay, moving on, new business. We have one item from Division of Liquor Control for an application at 423 South Broadway.
To City Greenville Council from Chief Eric Roberts. I have reviewed the application from the Ohio Division of Liquor Control for 423 LLC located at 423 South Broadway. I have no objections to the issuance of a D3 liquor permit. Sincerely, Chief Roberts.
So at this point, we just need to
Um,
request a
yeah.
hearing or not request a hearing? Is that
I'll make a
correct?
motion not to request a
Yeah,
hearing.
that's fine.
Okay, so we have a motion not to request a hearing by Mr. Baumgartner. Discussion?
Discussion?
Yeah.
I just wanted to point out, if you didn't realize that where it says 423,
Uh-huh.
and then 423 is the address. So 423 is the name of the new business.
Oh, okay, okay.
So, and that permit is a liquor license per se. And just to let you know, she will be pursuing a beer and wine and retail sales permit down the road. But this is what was available for her to obtain at this time. So I think we look forward to the possibility of her getting those other licenses, which would be nice there for her to have to make her business run the way she wants.
And just a clarification for those that aren't good on numbers, 423 North Broadway is the old KitchenAid building. So we're excited that this is going to be a new business in the KitchenAid building.
Will she become part of the DORA, you think?
She's in the, yeah,
I
probably.
would think so.
It will be available to her if she would like to do that, yes.
Yeah, being in the zone, in the
That's
confines district. Cool.
Look forward to that business opening.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
is there a target date for opening?
I think the original plan was at least 6 months or more, maybe
Yesterday normally is the target date on businesses.
Yesterday? Well, I'd go with that.
Mhm.
I like that clarification. All right, thanks.
Very good, thank you. All right, anyone else? If not, the motion is to not request a hearing. Call the roll?
Schmidt,
Yes.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Baumgartner,
Yes.
Ely,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
All right. Moving on, any old business? The next item on the agenda is our council representative to the outside committees. We have one item on the agenda tonight for the Architectural Review Board.
Yeah, I represent Council and Architectural Review Board, and unfortunately, I've missed the last couple of meetings because I've been out of town. Generally, what they do is approve any recommendations for signage or changes to the buildings within the downtown district. And usually during those meetings, they'll bring in somebody who's having to do with the construction of a sign or whatever painting they're going to do. And we see designs of those signs and take everything into consideration. And then we, will move to approve those changes. So that's generally what they do. And we meet the second Tuesday of each month. And we're meeting next Tuesday at 8:30 in the morning downstairs in the classroom. So,
Very good. Thank you.
thank you.
All right. Moving on, communications.
We received the monthly reports of June from Income Tax, the Street Department, and the Fire Department.
All right. We'll call down the council.
Schmidt,
I will pass tonight.
Whitaker,
I just want to make a comment about people wanting to destroy public property. It's not going to be tolerated. The young gentleman whose video went viral last week when he destroyed the camera at the park and the little building there, that was uncalled for, and we're not going to tolerate that. And people are going to have to learn that they're going to be responsible and financially responsible. And we're going to take every effort to make from here on out to make sure the parents are going to be responsible for what their kids do, and destroying public or anybody else's property is uncalled for and ridiculous. With that, I pass.
right? Or Baumgartner.
Yeah, it's just a couple things. So Chief, thanks for coming up. I love it when there's department heads here at our meetings. It shows that you care, and I appreciate you coming up. Philip, I've said it before, but that whole YOLO project and everything, it just totally changed that into Broadway. And I'm glad we passed this legislation tonight to even make it better. So thank you for everything you did. With that, I pass.
Ely,
I'd like to add that chairing that committee meeting was very interesting to me. I got to hear the input from the chief, and I appreciate your comments. I appreciate the fact that all council members and Law Director Ryman helped me through this process. So I appreciate every kindness that you're showing to me. And I want you to know that I really am endeavoring to learn as much as I can, as quickly as I can. So thanks to all of you for that. I noticed that down on where the old South School building is, construction has begun. I did see framing work going up yesterday and today, although I only saw one worker. So with that, I pass. But thank you again to all of you.
Godwin,
Are we still getting phone calls for water rates? People still trying to figure it out, or?
Haven't heard anything, but I think it would just save a lot of confusion if we
Put something out in the paper about when the rate goes in effect and when it goes in effect and what area will get their.
Yeah, it's sectioned off in 3 sections, so I understand it. And then, so some people pay 3, some people pay the 2, some people pay the 1. Then September,
Everybody goes the single month, yeah.
So, but I'd like to see the people know which section they're in.
Can they put something in the paper on that?
Yeah, we need
Or
to.
out on the city's website? Okay. And thanks for everybody that came up tonight. And with that, I'll pass.
Rogers?
I'm going to pass tonight. Thank you.
All right.
And we do have a need for an executive session.
We need to rise for an executive session, and
I would just
Need to
ask that
include
Chief
Kim
Roberts stays and
and-
Ms. Davis stays as well.
very good. Chief Roberts,
I'll make that motion to rise to executive.
motion by Mr. Baumgartner to rise to executive session. Discussion? Call the roll?
Schmidt?
Yes.
Whitaker?
Yes.
Baumgartner?
Yes.
Ely?
Yes.
Godwin?
Yes.
Rogers?
Yes.
All right.